Welcome to ArtBase. In this video I'm going to show you around the inventory settings for ArtBase. So the first thing is we want to get to the settings file. So to get there you go to the ArtBase menu and choose settings. Okay, so in the settings file you have all these different settings. I'm going to go to the inventory settings and go through these tabs. So in the inventory settings, you have different options for how things look on screen in the inventory file and how they print out. So let's have a look. The inventory tab is just all the kind of general settings for the inventory. And so first of all, you'll see over here on the right-hand side a preview of some of the options that we're going to choose on the left-hand side. So for example, currently the artist name can be uppercase, which is it is now, but you can also bold it, you can italicize it, you can underline it. So these are all the different options that you might choose for that, including also the title format. So the title could be underlined instead of italics. That's your choice. If untitled, do you want it to apply the style? So do you want it to be underlined if it's called untitled? Space between the artist and title. So some people like a little space in between there. You can do that. Title, comma, date. So do you prefer it to have a title and then a comma and then a date on the same line, or do you like it to have its own line? Print artist dates. So in the event that you have entered artist dates for this person, will it print them? And you can choose that. Inventory number prefix. So you'll see the inventory number appears at the bottom of your text. You can choose if it has a little prefix, if it says the words INV number, or if it's in parentheses, and those are your choices here. Okay. So then you also have whether you want to print the inventory number, and these are the different forms that you might want to print it on. Also the other inventory number field, which forms it prints on, the publisher field, and the signed field, in which forms they print on. The display field on the main inventory screen is here, and you can choose, if we go back to the inventory file, right now it's displaying the title of the piece, but you can switch it to display the artist name or display the inventory number. So now I can come back and see the inventory number is the first thing you see when you look at the record. Display location on inventory and table view. So some people prefer to, on their inventory screen, be able to see the location immediately when they open their program. Some people are concerned about maybe at the front desk or something, someone looking over their shoulder and they don't want them to see where this piece is located. Then they can decide whether that prints or whether it shows, and also whether it shows on the table view. If you don't have it show, don't worry, you just have to go into the location tab. It's just one more step and a little bit more private. Table view preference. So when we are on the inventory screen and we click on the table view toggle here, it will take us into the table view. Do you like it to default to have an image or not? Now, one reason that you might not want it to do that is in the event that you have a lot of people in multiple locations and they're using ArtBase over the internet. If that's the case, then having images can make it just a little bit slower, in which case if you want to absolutely optimize your speed, then you can have it default to this screen that doesn't have images and it will draw quicker. And importing documents. So when you're importing documents into the program, attaching them to artwork records or to contacts, do you want them to store automatically as a reference, or embed them in ArtBase, or do you want it to ask? And those are different options. Okay, this is your additions area. And you'll see over here on the right-hand side you have a preview, so you can see what these choices will print like. And so it's essentially how your addition information prints. Do you like the word of? Do you prefer a slash? Do you like the word addition? Maybe you're in another language, in which case you would want to change it to your own language. Simple addition print. So if it's not printing the copy number, meaning 15 of 60 versus just addition of 60, how does that print? Do Do you like the words edition of, ed of, and stuff like that? Offers. So when you're generating offer emails, which of these options, do you want it to default to a JPEG, a PDF, or a fact sheet PDF, or do you want it to ask you every time? And a default PDF names, when it creates the PDF, what do you want it to say? And you can change that. Email offers include a small, medium, or original image. That's a default again, and so you can choose one, and then you can change it on a case-by-case basis. The condition report allows you to have words at the top, and this is essentially, do you want it to be called a condition report or something else? And then the text at the bottom before it starts printing the information, should it say condition colon or something else? Okay, so there's more options in how things print out on a fact sheet versus how they print out just on a regular document. So in the fact sheet area, you can see you can change your formatting here as well. So you can say no underline, and you can change the wording. So there's the word provenance, exhibited, or literature, but you can change it to anything else that you want, reproduced, something else. Header format, so how provenance and exhibited print. Do you want it bold, uppercase, underlined? So you can change all of that here. Do you want a space between the artist and the title? Do you want a space between the sections? Below the headers, so below the word exhibited and provenance. And you can also say print found set. So let's just say that you are in your inventory and you're in your fact sheet area and you've entered your information and you come in here to hit print. Do you want it to default to print whatever is in your found set currently, or do you always want it to default to just the one you're looking at? You can also, have it ask you. Right now it's just going to ask me. Print other data. So there is an other field in the fact sheet area, provenance, exhibition, literature, and other. And other can be printed at the top of your information or at the bottom of the information. That's up to you. Courtesy line, something that prints at the very bottom always, and you can type anything you want in there. Provenance shows on all editions or unique to each copy. So this is an important feature. In the fact sheet area, if you're working with an entire edition, you'll need to specify whether the provenance information, basically who's owned this piece, whether it is specific to each individual edition or if you want it to print the same for all of your editions. And the default is that it will be unique to each edition, but it will be unique to each edition if you choose here, but if you want it to be the same for the entire edition, you need to choose that. When you're printing out an image, you have 3 different options to choose from and how that prints out: flush right, center, or flush left. And so you can specify here which one you want. And when you attach it to email, you can choose if it's a JPEG or a PDF. The defaults for whether you want to print the caption or the credit line are in here, and they'll just pop in automatically, but you can change them on a case-by-case basis. And then finally, a standard courtesy line. So at the bottom of your image printout, when you print this image, you will see some text at the bottom. Thank you for consideration, something like that, that always prints whenever you're generating one of these. And keep in mind that's also a PDF that might get emailed to someone. And so is there some text you always want to appear at the bottom? This is an area where you can designate how your inventory numbers generate. It's a good idea to look through this when you're setting up your first ArtBase program, and you want to designate whether it's generated by artist initials or not, if there's separators, and whether the year is included in your inventory number, or if it's just a general unique serial number for each item. Again, you can do another separator, and then again you can also choose maybe the year comes at the end, or the number by artist, or a unique serial number to each artwork. So just to make that clear, number by artist versus unique serial number means that if you number by artist, each artist has numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then the next artist has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Unique serial means that there's no two artworks that both have number 2 on them. They'll just start at number 1 and go all the way to the end. Inventory number prefix that you might want to print in front of the inventory number. It will pop in automatically. It will pop in automatically right here. If you've chosen the artist initials to pop in, then they will also appear, so it will do both. Do you want to print parentheses around your inventory number? Do you want to append the edition number? So in the event that this piece is an edition, you can choose whether the edition number 1 prints at the end of your inventory number. So it would be RL1020.1 for this piece. What number do you want to start at? So for each artist, do you want to start at number 1? Do you want to start at 1001? You can choose that. Do you want to start with leading zeros on the serial number? So do you want to start with 01? Next inventory number. So this is going to tell you what the next number is going to be if you're using unique serial numbers. So if you're choosing unique serial numbers, you can designate what the next number should be. A default artist, this is really just for our artists. So if you are an artist and you want to set up your artist name so that every time you create a new record, you don't have to type your name in, this will allow you to set up your own artist record and it will pop your name in each time. Okay, so dimensions are here. So this is basically how the dimensions prints. So do you like the word inches? Do you prefer IN? Do you prefer a little quote? And there are multiple settings you can choose in here. Do you like the centimeters to appear above the inches? So that's an option. Do you want the secondary dimensions in parentheses? And you'll see that in the preview. And you can separate each of these by a space or 2 spaces if you want to. Default dimensions. So in the dimensions area of the inventory, when you go into this dimensions area, in advanced dimensions you have 3 different images, different sizes. So what are the defaults for these? You can come in and choose crate dimensions, frame dimensions, things like that. This is an area where you can choose what your defaults are. And finally, status image. Status image allows you to set up back in the inventory what these color and letter codes apply to when you're choosing your statuses. So if you've got status of available, sold, consigned out, loan, things like that, each choice might be a different color and letter code. In which case you might come in here and choose the status of the piece and whether it's active or inactive. So it's got to be a combination between the status and this active field. So if it's available and it's marked active, then it should be blue and it should be the letter A. So then you see a sample over here. And these are all the different colors you can choose from. You have up to 10 different settings that you can set for the status. Okay, and that's inventory settings.